Yo, what's happening, brother? Let's see if we can do something about this. What's up, Ash, man? How's it going, dude? All right. Let me see here. Boom. All right. That should bring my man Chad in, hopefully. How's it? I think we got a good show for you today. We're going to have Santiago on today, Ash, man. Uh-oh. Looks like we're still trying to summon the Chadster. See what happens here. Give it a minute to do its thing. The Real Goop, good to see you, man. Good to see you, Ash. And I'll already tell you, if y'all aren't following Ash, man, please go do so right this minute. Also, go follow The Real Goopty Goop. Hey, look, we may have a Chad Rev Art.
What's up, y'all?
What's up, man? Look, my camera's done turned around. Y'all are over there looking at the wall. Let's see if I can do something about that.
What are you doing to yourself over here, man? What have you done?
I don't know what happened, man. It was giving me grief. It didn't want us to connect, man. It didn't want me to talk to you.
What's up, Ash Man?
That happens
Painting at
sometimes.
Tiffany.
Yeah, we got the Ash Man in the house.
What
We got
up,
SantiagosArt40 up in here.
Oh, SA's already in here.
We
What's
got painting.
up?
Painting. I hope you got your good clothes on because I'm going to bring you up here before too long.
There you go. I hope you got your good
We got
clothes
Element
on.
Rose in here, who is going to be our guest on Thursday afternoon.
Yeah.
Really excited to see her. She's got she got some dope art, I can tell you that.
True story.
Making a post today. Right on. Right on. So, thanks everybody for tuning in. While everybody's getting in here, I'll just go through the quick stuff. Ginn is me.
Goop.
That was my stepfather's last name. So the Ginn Project is my way of honoring him. I have a woodworking business where I do woodworking among many other things. I do some antique restoration and repair, mostly tools, hand tools, stuff like that. Also do some other stuff, but also do some instrument repair, stringed instruments, guitars, mandolins, that kind of stuff. Also in the process of building some instruments with a few different folks. And we do, I don't know, quite a few other things. We do some kind of functional art stuff. We're getting into some art pieces. Hey, Tona, what's going on? So there's quite a bit that we get into. Thank you for stopping in. And today, we're going to be talking about balance in our shop and balance at work, balance in life. So hopefully that sounds like something you could be into.
What's up, Rick?
Hey, Petrus, how's it going? Hey, Rick. Haley, how are you, love? Good to see you, Haley. Wandering, what's up, brother? So everybody in the feed, please follow each other. Thank you, Wandering. Thank you, brother. Please follow each other. These guys right up here, everybody in this feed is amazing. We have a few announcements to make, not the least of which is, I see here in the chat, our dear friend and confidant and plotter and schemer, SantiagosArt40 is. Make sure you give her a follow. What's up, Sean? On February 10th, which is a Saturday at 5:30 in the afternoon, SantiagosArt40 is going to be participating in an art contest in Marietta, Georgia. I'm going to go down there. Chad's going to be calling the shots from the little box like he is right here, except he's going to be doing that for SantiagosArt40. I'm going to go down and do my best to support her. I hear some other TikTok folks might stop in and support her. But if nothing else, please tune in on Saturday at 5:30, February 10th, and support her on this platform because you'll find myself and Chad Rev Art down there doing the same thing. That's at the Heart, Soul, and Art Crystal Shop and Gallery in Marietta, Georgia on February 10th. It's on Powder Springs Road. Show up there, give some support if you can. If you can't, show some support on the TikTok.
I checked that out last night. I looked into it and was like looking at all the pictures and their websites. It's a really cool place. Nice place.
Yeah. And you know what? SA is a really cool woman.
Way cooler than any place.
Yes, absolutely. And while we're on that subject, I would like to point out that she needs to get a lot of credit because SA
Yeah.
helps us to move behind the scenes to make sure that my show and to make sure that Chad's show goes off smoothly. She's always supporting us, always looking out for us, and we really appreciate her. And we will do everything we can to be there to support SA. So y'all please do the same thing. Which
SA
brings
stands for
me,
so awesome. That's right, Sean.
yes, it is. SA stands for so awesome. And if you hadn't seen her art, go check it out. It is layers and layers and layers of awesome.
Yes.
So that brings me to another person that I think, since we're going to talk about balance today, then we need to balance it and make sure everybody's getting credit where credit is due. So if we can, Chad, would you try to bring up painting or painting? Bring yourself up for just a second, please. We're not going to do anything too crazy. Don't worry.
We might.
It's okay. You'll be safe with us. Rick
I'm
the
looking.
Muse, yes, art by Kobe is amazing. And by the way, Rick the Muse, art by Kobe is one of the people that's working on some guitar stuff with us. How about that, dude? How about that?
How?
So, for
Eric.
those that don't know Painting at Tiffany's, she is a dear friend, and she is the person that introduced Chad and I. She is the person that convinced me that I should stay on TikToks and possibly pursue something a little further in the art community on TikTok. And she has been behind the scenes for every show, and she has been working hard for a couple months before any shows to make sure all of this stuff goes off. So she very
Yes.
seldom ever gets credit. Since we're going to talk about balance, I just wanted to bring her up for a second. She's not showing us her face, but I kind of thought she might not.
No, that's all right.
I'm
But
getting there.
I'm getting there. It's like,
But-
don't rush me, fools.
There we go. I did forget my glasses, but I'll be okay.
But Chad and I wanted to thank you, and we wanted to make sure to give credit where credit was due. We appreciate you very much. People should get to see your face, and they should also know that coming soon, she's going to have some art out there. She's going to be making some art. The potential exists. You might be able to get some lessons from her down the road. So please look for big things to come from Painting at Tiffany's. Is there anything that you would like to mention or talk about any of that stuff right now at all?
Not at the moment. My timeline's still kind of wonky, but I've got all my stuff set up. My box of paint is ready to bring down. I've discussed a couple of the different types of classes, or bounced off of my friends, like kind of stuff I would talk about and whatever. And I'm thinking like brush class, color chart, like the basics, because everybody needs to start somewhere. And I always start off all of my classes by starting with the basics anyway, like a quick rundown of things. But I would like to do a couple that are just, I want to get back into teaching. I miss it.
Right on. Right
We're
on.
happy you're
So,
going to do that.
So there could be some collaborations coming in the future with Painting at Tiffany and her work, her ideas, and just so everybody's aware, I'm going to say it one more time: the Gun Project show would not be here. I would not be here, and I certainly wouldn't give a damn about Chad Rev Art had it not been for Painting at Tiffany's. So I just wanted to bring you up. I wanted to say thank you, and I really appreciate you, and you're an amazing human being. And there's going to be even more good news coming down the road for you, I believe. But we will save that for another day. But keep in mind, she's got some art coming. She's got some classes coming. And if you like our show at all, or you like Chad's show at all, then you should know that this is the woman behind the scenes doing some stuff to make it happen. And just to show her that she taught me something, we're just going to sit here real quick.
Look at
and
that.
Look at the art
Look what he was
behind
able to
her.
do.
Some art.
And she taught me how to do that, y'all.
I did.
Yes.
I've given him the TikTok lessons.
She did.
Some of the
She did.
TikTok lessons.
So that is the kind of art that I'm talking about is going to be.
I'm so sorry. We're gonna.
Hey, don't throw us down, Tiffany.
She just chunked us. That's
You just
it.
threw
She's had
like
enough
Just
of
real
us.
quick, because I know we got to get on with the show, but I do
That's why you're
a
here.
lot of abstract stuff, and we just had a birthday party, so excuse me.
Nice, nice.
And then
You don't have to go too
stuff
fast.
like
We're in no
that.
hurry. Look at that.
I know. I just
Oh my
don't have
gosh.
time. This one's one of my favorites.
It's amazing.
Nice.
It's really tall. It's big too. I don't remember what size that canvas is.
Yeah.
Where's my button?
About this big.
Very cool. About that.
Yeah,
big.
right.
Looks about well.
Let me turn.
I'm thinking I got it
That's my
measured
hand.
about like this. Good lord.
right.
Wow. Very nice. Very
I'll
nice.
be with you in just a minute, bud. Okay.
So-
Yep, that's that one, and
Thank you,
then
man.
I've also got the one in here. There we go.
Look at this.
That's sideways. It's birch trees.
Oh wow.
Birch trees. Birch
That's
trees.
my.
Very cool.
Yep. That's
You
my
might
baby.
notice that one
Like
used to
that
be the
one
one
and my
hanging
big one out
behind
there.
her. Yeah.
This I moved it back to. This one has been sold, so I did move it for picture taking purposes.
Yeah.
Um,
Broken. It's sold.
It's sold.
it's sold.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, he kind of wanted months. It was months that he was asking me for that painting. And he was like, I think you might be the one.
Right?
And he
Right.
didn't get scared or nervous or anything when I told him the price. And I'm always nervous about that,
Yep.
Sure.
As an
I
artist,
understand.
Yeah.
that's a hard one.
Yeah.
I don't like
Can I,
charging for my work.
Can I add to the praises real quick here? I want to interject and I want to add to the praises of Tiffany here. Tiffany is the longest standing team member that I have here on TikTok. She has been with me before the Volta Agency. She has been with me before the Gen Project. She has been with me a very, very long time and supported me and helped get me where I am. Thank you, Tiffany. From the
You're so
bottom of my
welcome.
heart.
And when
Thank you so very
because
much.
I've known you for a while, like you said. And then when I met Gin, I was like, be soon to meet. I didn't know you'd be staying up till 5 o'clock in the morning with each other every night, but
Hey, we're getting
Well,
it
that's a
done,
different
girl.
story.
We get it done.
Yep. I'm super proud of you guys, and I really appreciate you bringing me along for
Thank you so
the
much,
background.
Tiffany.
To be in the background.
Thank you for
Thank you so much.
thank you for everything,
I'm gonna
Tiffany.
shoot
Really,
myself
thank you, and I'm so stoked that
Nah,
you're back
she's
in
like,
the
I'm
art
done.
game. And
I'm done.
yeah, she I couldn't even
I got
reach
it.
it. She switched me back.
Yes, it is. I knew that there would be a bromance, and it blossomed immediately, and I think it's beautiful.
Aw.
So,
Like, I just...
thank you so much, Tiffany. You're a badass. We appreciate you. And we wouldn't be here without you. And I'll keep saying it over and over and over again. I'm so proud to be part of the team with you on it. So thank you so much.
I appreciate you guys very, very much.
I just get to be the one out here talking, and you're actually the one doing a lot
And
of
I
the
tell
work,
you what to do.
so-
It's fine. I like how that works.
That's right.
Right.
Yes.
It works out good.
Yes.
You and SA keep us on track.
Yep.
So,
It's true. It's true.
So we're, the topic today I was going to talk about related to my shop is balance. And, it's this idea of trying to find this balance between, the different projects that you're working on, your work life and your private life. And now with TikTok, for example, there's this balance between how much time you spend on this particular social media platform versus, so there's a lot of need, I think, for balance. In a shop, it's practical business, right? In life, it's important in order for your life to have any kind of cohesion to it. So in my shop, the way I approach the balance thing.
Sorry, I dropped my phone. She started
It's so
something, I
good,
just
man.
knocked it down.
In the shop, the way I approach tackling the balance problem is, for example, I'm getting older. I'm 52.
Yeah, you
I don't
are.
really care who knows that. But I've got some miles on my body, and I've had to have surgery on my leg multiple times. And I've got back issues. So I've had to scale down the size of things that I build, and I've had to scale back on how much I'm out there milling trees and dragging logs around and stuff. So I had to find a balance just physically. And then you got to find a balance emotionally. For example, I've had the honor of building several funeral flag boxes for veterans who have passed. And usually these requests came from their nearest family member, and they were always someone that I knew. And in order to do builds like that, I had to kind of be in the right state of mind. Otherwise, you're just sort of a mess. And that applies whether you're a painter. You might be trying to paint a portrait of a family or a pet or someone that was important to somebody, and you're trying to capture that. And if you care about what you're doing, it's stressful. So that, I believe, applies to almost anybody producing art. If you are bringing it from an emotional place or from a place deep inside you, then you are putting part of yourself into that art, whatever that product, that end product might be, which means you've given part of yourself to that. And you got to find the mental side of the balance, like I described an extreme version. But in fact, in my shop, if I come down and I'm working on a project and something doesn't feel right for whatever reason, I move on to a different project. That may not work for everyone, but that's another reason I have multiple projects going on in the shop at one time. Because
Yes.
sometimes things just don't seem like they're going to go right, and you step away from it and come back later, and you don't tear things up, is what I've found, or you don't mess things up as bad. So it's a practical, finding that balance is a practical thing too. But it also, when you're working on finding that balance, it informs for me like what's being done in my shop. So by having multiple things going on at one time, for example, you can accomplish, you can work on several projects in a day. This is a charcuterie board, or will be a charcuterie board. It's been married together. It was two pieces of walnut. They want a live edge, and these are going to be shaped down into a live edge too. What you see on there is caulk. And the reason there's caulk on there is these inclusions are going to be filled with something I hardly ever do, so don't ask me, with epoxy. And so there's another discussion about balance. Why in the world would you tell me not to ask you to do that, Dion? Well, here's the reason. Because for a charcuterie board, if you start adding epoxy to it, the amount of time that it takes to put into that particular board has just gone 4 or 5 or 10 times beyond what it would normally be. And that adds to the cost, simply put, right? So the other factor is I like to work in the natural products and with kind of the natural look of things and the grain patterns and that type of stuff. So on occasion, when I get a special request, I will do something like that. But if I have to price this object, it's going to be way, way, way more expensive because of the amount of time that has to go into something like that. Because I have to dam it off with the caulk the way I do it, which needs to dry. And then you pour the epoxy, which has a 24-hour dry time. And then you sand it, clean it up, and repair any blemishes, which takes a certain amount of time. And then you get back to what you were originally doing to make the piece. So, as a practical matter, as a way of balancing what I do in my job. Hey, Donnie, it's good to see you, man. Thank you, man. Balancing what I do in my shop. I don't normally put epoxy in charcuterie boards because then I have to sell them for more than people can pay for them normally. So sometimes the balance is a practical thing. Sometimes the balance is a necessary thing. But another way that I balance things out in the shop is while I put this on, the caulk takes a certain amount of time to dry, right? So I put the caulk on it, and then I set that project aside. And then I can pick up another project. So this would be another small project that I'm working on, and you've seen this before. But this is we'll be playing down eventually, maple disc that's going to be the seat for a 3-legged kind of milking stool type piece. And in it, to repair the cracks, are going to be, let's go one, are going to be these, if you can see the cracks, those are going to be repaired by these walnut bow ties. And the person that this is being made for wanted it to be rough looking and wanted it to have the cracks and the fissures. And this is going to be the legs, other pieces of maple that were limbs that I dried over the years. And she wanted a really kind of rusticy, kind of raw look, which is kind of what I do. So I was excited about that. But there's another place to find balance, right? Inlaying each one of these takes some time. And it puts it in this area where it's between a functional stool and now we're getting over into it's more of an art piece, right? Because I could have selected a piece of maple that didn't have any cracks in it and I wouldn't have needed to put bow ties in it. Because I chose to use a piece that had cracks in it, I've got to do something about those cracks before I do anything else. And I'll have to stabilize the one that's going to be on the bottom, which is right here, so that when I put legs in it, it won't affect the legs. So if someone came to me and just wanted a simple milking stool and didn't want any bells and whistles, we can do that. Here's one made out of poplar, a lighter wood. It's easier to work. It's still a hardwood. But you notice it doesn't have cracks, so it doesn't take any time to repair, right?
Yeah.
So even in the piece that you're building, it can be informed by not only what you're trying to accomplish, but that balance in how much it's going to cost when you get done with it. And all of us that are trying to sell our art are trying to deal with that balance. You heard Tiffany when she was talking about selling an art piece, and you and I, Chad, know that her art is amazing. It's really, really good.
Yep.
And she still is uncomfortable like setting prices for her own art. I'm uncomfortable setting prices for my own stuff. Chad and I have had many discussions about him trying to set prices for his stuff.
Yeah.
And part of it is that balance, because once you get beyond the functional in my shop, right? I build functional stuff. Once it's past functional and now we're making it look pretty, then it gets really expensive.
Yeah.
Because that's what takes so much time. Right? Does that make sense?
Hours of my life.
Chad, if you don't mind, I'm going to bring you into the big box.
Uh-oh.
Because I feel like that might be a subject you could say a little bit about. Trying to find the balance between carving and painting. Trying to find the balance between whether you want to go full on dark art or you back off of that enough to where you might be able to get it in a gallery. Those are all decisions that you have to make in an artist. And in my mind, they all have to do with balance. And thank you for hanging out, Tiffany. I just wanted to see people that see that,
Right.
You know what I'm saying.
Yeah, pricing has always been a very difficult thing for me. It also doesn't help that I have a big issue with timing myself while I work. One of the first questions people ask is, how many hours you got in that? How long did that take you? And they don't like my answer because I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I went and bought a stopwatch and hung it from my easel so that I could try to break that, and ask me how many times I've used it. I can't do it. So that makes it even more difficult. But that is really kind of what it boils down to for most people. And while I can give you an idea of how much effort and time I put into it, by how I feel about it, some people will clock it by the minute, but that is definitely some people. There's a big pricing thing in like the chainsaw carving community where they go by like the foot. And that works great if you're all doing the exact same kind of work with the exact same kind of detail at the exact same pace. Because, and nothing against them, because I learned a lot of what I do from these folks, but like the ones who go in and, they'll do like a big bear or an eagle and it looks great. Okay. Again, nothing against them, but they'll finish it with a chainsaw and that's where they're done. Well, okay, they're going to charge you X amount per foot. Now, I don't really do that because it's just not my thing. I do stuff like this. So me working per foot at the same rate that they work per foot would be absolutely insane.
No bueno.
So I have to decide every time I do a piece when it's done. Where is it done? And there is a point, like you said, You know, I mean, I could add like awesome gold inlay into one of these pieces, but that's going to make the price go insanely up because I took the time to do that. I
right?
mean, one of the pieces that I sold recently, it cost more because I did an entire bell jar. I antiqued the bell jar. I gave it new feet. I did my own silver inlay. I took silver wires. I braided them over and over, flattened them out with a hammer, and then heated it and pulled it into a rope, and then I inlaid it. So, I mean, all of that added time and effort to where for me to let go of it, a lot of you've heard me say before, like, what price? Yes, when you're content, exactly. When you're content with the piece, it's done, and that goes right in, Santiago, to the next thing I was going to say is,
Who's our guest
I,
tonight?
I know it's gonna be awesome. I'm ready for that. Especially since I don't, clock myself by the hour. Is I just come up with a price that, at the end of the day, I'm not Walmart. I'm not a store at the mall. I do art that I love to do and I love to look at. And sometimes I will not let one go until I'm done looking at it. The last sculpture I sold, it lived on my desk for a good 6, 8 months before I ever put it up for sale. And then I had to decide what is the price that I feel comfortable letting it go at. And I think that goes right back to what you're talking about in that balance. Because how much time, how much effort, how much love, there's so many different things that can be measured off of what is that piece of art worth. And at the end of the day, it's two things. What do you feel comfortable letting it leave your grasp for? And what does someone feel comfortable paying for it?
Right,
Outside of that, nothing matters. There's your
right on,
balance. That's
right
my
on.
that's my that's
And
my three
and
cents.
there's another type of balance too, and I agree with everything you just said. We've also had discussions about whether you sell your art or whether you hold it so that you have enough to do a whole show, for example. So that is also like I'm in the same boat. I've got to have enough stuff to go on my online store to make it worth opening, right? Or
Sure.
do I sell it as I go and then I don't open the store, right? So
Yeah.
there is always this, and in your instance, you have art pieces that you're reluctant to sell because if you can get enough art pieces done, now you have enough to do an entire show, and that's a whole different thing. And when you do that, the price goes up again.
I don't
So
have any pieces for sale. Do I have a bunch of pieces around me and in my house? Yes. None of them are for sale right now.
So you have to think strategically as well
Yes, dude.
as emotionally when you're dealing with that. And
Yeah.
so um, uh, a little plug here. Max V Show. If you're tuning
See you
in,
there,
anybody
Tony.
that's following, anybody that's looking, on the weekdays in the mornings, you can find the Max V Show, and there's always a plethora of artists there having conversations, talking about art. So make sure that we go in the morning and support Max V.
Yes, please.
Please, please, please support Max V. We love Max
It'll
V.
s-
We
it,
want to
it,
support
it'll be
Max V.
good for you too.
Yeah, everybody does it. Makes you feel real good.
It's not just good. It's good for you.
So today's guest, today we're having on Santiago, as we mentioned earlier, and here's another example of balance, man. Santiago's had to deal with quite a bit in his life. He's been through some stuff, and he still manages to come out the other side as a humble, balanced, thoughtful, compassionate sort of fellow that actually has something to say. He's going to get ready, right on.
Just
So,
getting home. Good deal.
so in we're gonna hear Santiago's story today, and part of it has to do with being an artist as a kid, and then there were some language barriers, and there were some medical issues, and all of those things that happened, and then you know all the way we're going to talk about all the way up to the point where he's at now, and his art, and how amazing it is, and his philosophy on it, and I think that he's going to tell us that finding that balance over time is a journey, and And anyway, I think it's going to be a good show. I think we're really going to enjoy that portion of that portion of the show. The dude has studied and done all different types, all different modes of art, and he's kind of settled on what works for him. But I think that's what makes him so well rounded is he's tried a lot of different stuff. So
right.
Santiago will be on here a little later. And don't forget, we got our SA Artistries show that we need to support. And we got Max V on the mornings that we want to get over there if we can and support. And the Chad Rev Art Show. What time does it come on, Chad?
Something about like 5:30 Central, 6:30 Eastern.
Right on.
It'll be good. It'll be good. There you go.
Right on.
There you go.
And I'll be there too. And for anybody that doesn't know, Art was kind enough to send me a picture of SA where she painted me. I'm right there.
Can you see that? Do you know what that is?
And, Chad's also
TikTok.
In it. Chad also
this way
happens
for TikTok. You got
in here,
right there.
But so on Friday, every other Friday night, you could possibly win something like one of these in the SA Artistries. You pick it, she paints it. So there you go. Take that.
You're ever gonna send that to my girl?
No.
I'm gonna hate you forever again. Just send it to her.
Probably.
Just send it to her.
It's got to stay in the family. It's got to stay in the family.
She's family. She's family.
So another example of the balance thing that we're talking about is what a lot of people don't consider about artists or about woodworking shops or about carvers or whatever is there's a lot of R&D, let's call it R&D, that happens behind the scenes as well, right? What people get to see usually is either a finished piece in the case of a painter or now on TikTok, the process of that piece, right? But there is a lot of things that go on behind the scenes to work out things to come up with the final product. So, for example, something as simple as I made a cross-cut sled that goes on my table saw, and on it I have the ability to set up a little part of the jig that will make these for doing finger joints. There's multiple ways to do it. You can cut them. You can do them with a chisel, which I've done. You saw them. You can do them with a router. There's router jigs that'll do that for you, basically. But this particular time, I chose to do it with a dado blade, which is a stackable blade that you put on a table saw, which will give you a width that you want, rather than just the kerf of a regular table saw blade. So I have a dado blade in it right now that has a 1/2 of an inch setup in it, so it'll take this 1/2 of an inch groove out. But then it runs through this way, through on the sled. So you've got to do a few and make sure to get an accurate measurement about how high the saw is actually cutting, because it's a round blade. So you got to run a blank piece through there and take the measurements to get what it's truly doing, right? Once you do that, then you get it set up, and you actually we'll have to make some little micro adjustments. Like you can see on this was a practice piece, and there's a little piece left over right there. And that ain't a big deal. Either this side's going to get planed down anyway and it would be gone. But if you're going for accuracy, I needed at this point to move that little jig that holds this over by that much so that I didn't end up with that lip. And by the time I ran enough of these through and got to the end, then I didn't have any of those lips on these that I did, right? It took it much cleaner. There's just a little nib that I'll rub off of there. But all of those are adjustments that were necessary to be made before I can start producing a quality final product, right? But these also don't have to be wasted. What I'll do is I'll go back and cut these off on a chop saw, right? I made these a little longer than they were going to need to be anyway. So I'll go cut them on the chop saw, and then I'll run them through this process again. By the way, the trick is to put tape on, masking tape, on the back, and then it doesn't have that blowout. So if you choose to do it on the table saw, then there's some things you have to do to make adjustments. The same would apply if you did it on a router. If you did it by hand with a chisel or a saw, that takes longer, and you got your another set of problems and another set of opportunities to make mistakes. So another thing that is considered in the pricing of your objects, or whether it's a painting or whatever, is how much risk the artist had to take in making it, right? Not just the background stuff, not just the practice, not just the R&D, but also the risk that that person had to take to make that piece of art be what it is. Let's use SA Artistry's piece that's going to be in the contest, for example. She did a piece with a glue gun somehow, where she made a skeleton that was pointing, well, down, and then she did a painting of a little boy, someone in her family, pointing up. And between those two things, she did a pour. Now, I didn't know what a pour was until recently, but a pour is when you pour a variety of paints and then let them kind of do what they do, and that's what you get. So she took this beautiful, right on Santiago, she took this beautiful painting, and she took the risk of doing her first pour ever in the middle of this painting before a contest. This is a painting that she's entering into a contest. So she did this pour, and it came out amazing because she's an amazing artist. But I would have to imagine that when she decides down the road how much that painting costs, that's going to be a part of the process. She risked the entire painting when she did that pour. If it wouldn't have come out right, she ruined all those hours of work. And people don't get to see all the hours of work that end up in dead ends because the process isn't going to work, or the materials are not going to do the job, or, you know, in my case, something breaks or splits out, or I make a miscut or whatever happens. But the other factor is all of the R&D that you're willing to do, all of the studying about your craft, all of that goes into the value of what you're producing. And I think a lot of times people, especially buyers, don't consider that. It does, you know, they're so used to getting something from Walmart or furniture from IKEA that they're like, oh, well, I could get a coffee table like that at IKEA for $100. And my response is, well, no, you can't. You can get something similar for $100, but
not
you
even
can't
similar.
get what
you can
I
get a
do
table
for $100. You can't get the materials I would make the table with for $100.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh.
They're making it out of composite, not making it out of solid oak. There's a difference. So part of the balance we have to find as creators or as makers is how much time do we spend on projects that go nowhere, right? And are we willing to spend time on projects that go nowhere? And in my mind, the answer has to be yes, it's absolutely necessary. But I do see people that try to skip over that part and then try to charge the big number at the end, and they can't understand why they don't get the big number.
Yeah.
And it's because they're not putting out a big product.
Yeah, you're not putting in a quality. You're slapping something together that you could, in fact,
get at, you are sticking a banana peel on the wall and making $1 million because of your last name. We can call it art, but it didn't take a lot of effort.
It's true. It's true.
So, at any rate, I think that that whole the idea or the concept of balance in our daily lives or in what we do, in the art that we produce, and the amount of time that we spend on the back stuff of the art, of trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work, and all that kind of thing. It all has to do with you got to find a balance for all of it if you want to be successful. There is no corners to cut on any of it.
Yes, that's right, Spurs. Quality versus quantity.
Throwaway world. Right on, Spurs. Absolutely. 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 So, there's a thing I noticed about TikTok, which is it can consume a lot of time, for example, right? You got to, like in our case, for example, we do the shows that we do, and then at night, we're trying to do shows that are just actually us working on our craft, and that way folks get to see the kind of professional side as far as working on what we're doing, but that doesn't allow for very good communication in the chat. It doesn't allow for being able to, like, if you're focusing on what you're doing, then you're not using your brain, that part of your brain, to pay attention to what's going on in the chat, or, you know, the likes or the whatevers. So we're trying to figure out a way to do it at night where it's in this kind of a flow state, and just kind of set the precedent where people understand that the guys doing it might, you know, it may be 20 or 30 minutes before they check the chat. Sometimes someone like painting might be roaming the chat, but she's got kids. She got to sleep sometime. I mean, she's up like 21 hours a day, so we got to let her sleep at least 3 hours.
That's familiar.
Right? I mean,
that's familiar, isn't it?
Right. So even in just TikTok, I have found that there's a lot. I put a lot of effort into trying to find this balance between how much time, you know. You want to go and visit other people's rooms. You want to go sit in other people's chats. You want to go meet other people. On the other hand, you've only got so much time. And if all you're doing is producing a show and then meeting other people, and you never do any carving, and Tiffany never does any painting, and I never do any woodworking, then it's a waste of time.
Yeah. I get that, Space Toast. It's really hard to find a flow state while you're actually interacting with people, because a flow state, in fact, is a hyper-focused state. So you can't be both, in fact, you know, a hyper-focused and, you know, doing stuff, any other stuff, really. And I mean, I don't know about the rest of you artists, but like one of my addictions to art is that flow state. Like that's one of the biggest addictions and therapeutic things to all of this is
it's that's where your therapy and the all the good stuff that comes from your art is, in that flow state, right?
Yes,
like that's the goal.
Right.
Kira,
sorry, I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I was reading something at the same time. You're good. Okay. Yeah, Kira, exactly. She says she's learned not to expect progress for the first 30-40 minutes. I'm the same way, but like on the daytime show that I'll do here in a little bit at 5:30, just like getting show right now, you don't get, like, at least with our stuff on this show, you don't really get that window to do it. I mean, do I work on the show? Yeah, but it's skipping, it's bits and pieces in here and there. That's why the flow state videos or broadcasts, I'm sorry, I think are working very, very well. I'm very excited about them.
Me too. I just hope we can get the word out that, like Spurs said, and I agree with Punk Rock too. Punk Rock real quickly says, when I'm in my groove, I want to be left alone. Yeah. And Spurs said, I often get told I ignore people. No, I'm in my space. I forget everything else around me. Right, exactly. So that's what I'm advocating, that we start encouraging that we start saying, hey, look, you are finding artists in their space doing their work. That's a cool thing. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You don't have to be entertained too. You're already you know what I mean? Like, their work is the entertainment. They don't have to put on a show for you too. So
yeah, Kira, they do. Yeah.
So what we're trying to do with Chad and I and Tiffany, and what we're trying to figure out is how to do these flow state type shows where we can get into that, where we can actually do that, and then people can actually witness that going on, because we think that's compelling. That's another part of what we do that is actually interesting.
Right. And I don't want to come across like as rude, but the way I see it is our daytime shows that we do like this is for us to interact. This is for us to talk to everybody, have a good time, share some knowledge, share some great art, whatever. But when we do these flow states, and again, not to sound rude, don't get mad if we don't talk. Get happy because we turn the camera on. That's kind of how I feel about it. Right, I hate to say it that way, but like, just be happy we turn the camera on. If I'm working, I'm there to work and to flow and to do my thing. And, you know, before TikTok, I did it without anybody watching, in my office or in my studio, usually at night with my headphones cranked. So I turned off the entire world. So it was very hard for me to even start letting people in on that at all. I mean, it's a very like personal feeling that you have going on there, and to let somebody watch you, it's like, I don't know, it's like letting you let people watch you sleep. That freaks me out, you know.
Right. It's
like letting you let people watch you sleep. That freaks me out. We got the loop.
We got the loop. Santiago, if you could, buddy, go ahead and mute your mic for me for a minute. We got a loop when I brought you up there. Thank you, man. We're going to talk to you here in just a second once everything kind of straightens up. Yes, absolutely, Chad. I agree with you 100%, man. So anyway, that's what we're trying to do, folks. We're trying to do those shows at night too, and kind of get a precedent going to where if you catch people in their flow state, then you kind of let them do their thing. And me personally, I'm just kind of glad that I get to check out what they're doing. And
yes,
so hopefully we can make that just like we're trying to make this artist community a little tighter community. Maybe we can make that a little more. If we started in the artist community and that becomes the expectation that if you find people on that are working, that's what they're doing. They're
and it's not that we don't appreciate
the
people that come in and watch. You know, we love that they come in and watch, but also, you know, like many people have said here in the chat, while we love you doing that, please don't get mad that we let you peek in and watch us do our thing. Like,
there is a balance. There is a balance.
Somebody got filtered. Haha.
So the guy that we just brought up in this box here is Santiago, and I'm really excited to bring him on for several reasons. One of which is, you know, that the guests that come on the GAN project are outstanding artists who have a story, have something to say. They're about something. And Santiago's journey has not been easy. He started as a young man in New York as a child. He's always been into art, but he had asthma. And when he was 10 years old, his family sent him to live with his grandmother in Puerto Rico in hopes of that would help with his asthma. And it did. But it presented him with another series of problems because he grew up in New York. He didn't speak Spanish. When he got to Puerto Rico and went to school, it was Spanish speaking. So that meant it was much more difficult for him. He got left behind. He came back to the States, then you go back. So he's dealt with some challenges that were no fault of his own. And he has found a way to come out on the other end as a man that I respect tremendously. His art, the way he moves, the way he goes about his business, and I respect the thought process that goes behind his art. You may have seen earlier in his chats or in the chat that you know, he wants his art to be available to as many people as possible, and he too has had to find this balance of being a professional artist and also being a kind, generous, compassionate person. So. He is he growing up, and I don't want to give you too much of his background because I think having a conversation with him about his story would be even more impactful. But you know, to give you the short version of it, when he was young, he was into art. He went to Puerto Rico. He didn't speak Spanish. It was more difficult for him in school. It ended up meaning he got put behind, which comes with its own social stigmas and that kind of thing. And then he ran into the right people in some instances that were inspirational to him, and in other instances, not so much. So please, if you would, down in the chat, please give me some claps. We're going to bring Santiago up into the big box. And,
y'all like Santiago.
And Santiago, I'm gonna be quiet here in a minute, but while I got you and I can look at you face to face, I just want to tell you thank you for being on the show. I have a tremendous amount of respect for you and your creativity, your process, and the human being that you are. So thank you for being here, sir. Thank you for talking with us, and thank you for allowing us to look inside of your life a little bit today.
He said, "Hell with you, dude."
Nah, you had me on mute, so I couldn't really talk.
My bad. Got you, man. All right.
All right. Thank you so much for letting me be here with you guys and share my art. my process and my life. I'm excited to be a part of this. Um, so yeah, like he said, like I had a struggle, but it didn't stop me. It didn't stop me from where I wanted to be and growing up. There was many different influences in my life that made me a better person. Um, so yeah, I got left back twice. I got left back going to Puerto Rico because I didn't know Spanish, and then when I got used to it and I came back, um, they tested me again, and I got left back because I was from Puerto Rico. So therefore, like I went but it still didn't stop me. I ended up going to graduating from high school, graduating from college with my BFA. I was also going for my master's in TESOL, which is like ESL, and I was like one senior thesis away from my master's, but I felt like the demands for a teacher nowadays in New York is very hard, and I chose to be happy instead of to be financially stable. If that
Right
makes
now,
sense.
let, let me. I can relate to you. Let me. I'm going to interrupt you for a minute because I want to give a little more of your background, a little more context here. I think here's a good place to do it right here, man. Um, um, in your journey in fourth grade, uh, you participated in a mural. Like your teacher was painting a mural in a hallway, and you were asked to help in that process. And that was the first time you actually really did painting, and they really liked what you did, and that was kind of inspired you in a way, kind of lifted you up. Right? Is that accurate?
That's definitely accurate. Like that was like the first time picking up a paintbrush. I never really painted in my life, other than like finger paint. But it just encouraged me to be an artist. Like they liked my animals. I would always draw. Like every lunch hour, I would go to the lunchroom with a sketchbook and just start drawing for no reason. And I had that passion, I had that passion to draw every day. And that's what gave me like the motivation to keep on moving. And that's what art did for me. It helped me, like accomplish many things in life, like finish school. Just even with the setbacks and everything, it was always there. It was there to get me through it. It got me to college. It got me everywhere where I wanted to be, and I put that first. But in the same situation, you still have to do academics. Reading. I don't really like to read. I don't really like to write, but I had to do it because it was the whole process of doing it. So in life, there's always going to be a problem. There's always going to be something that you don't like to do, and you still have to do it. Just to push
Yep.
through it. But I had art there to like help me along the way. It helped
Right.
me.
Right.
It helped me with the stress. It helped me with anything, any problems I had in life. Like I would put it down on paper. And that's a blessing. If you have something that you can rely on to like help you get through any situation, well, that's a blessing. Like to me,
You're a humble man, so let me brag on you just a little bit more on that topic, okay? You're a humble guy, and I know you're not going to say a lot of this stuff, so I'm going to do it for you, right? You're going to be one of the few guests that I interrupt here and there because I want to tell you a story. But to my when we talked, you were telling me about a high school teacher or a junior high teacher that helped you put kind of a portfolio together.
yeah.
And this portfolio was used to help you get into High School of Art and Design, which is one of the two top schools in Manhattan for art. Is that accurate?
Yes, it is. Um, there was a test that an art test that you have to go in and you have to take. They normally want people that that have good observation skills. So most of the drawing at the time, I I was drawing like still lives, and I was copying master's art. So and that helped me get ready for the test. So, but I wasn't really doing from observation as much. I was looking at something and I was drawing it. But then during my course in high school is where I learned how to like draw figures, learn like just beginning stuff like different types of medium, oil painting. I learned about trompe l'oeil. I learned about all these different artists that I never knew about. You know, especially
One
at
of
a young
which
age.
we're about to get to. One of them, your favorite. We're about to get him. Don't spill the beans on us just yet. So my understanding is that you went to the High School of Art and Design, if I'm describing that right. But you had a cousin that was very influential too, like was an inspiration to you. Then y'all kind of he went to a different school, but y'all kind of started pushing up in each other's game a little bit. Is that accurate?
Oh yes, my cousin was like he was like my brother. I would always sleep at his house, um, and he also went to the other top high school of art at LaGuardia High School, where he was really a great artist. And then he stopped that after he went to the Marines. He joined the Marines, and now he lives in Dublin with his wife and his three kids. And he was like the inspiration for me to do better with art. Like there's always somebody that challenges you, and I like to challenge myself, you know, because I feel like if you challenge yourself, you're able to learn more about yourself and what you're capable of, you know. And it's okay to fail. Like it's okay because um part of the learning process is knowing what you can and you can't. And if you have a problem with that, then we work on that more, like so you can
Right.
figure it out.
Absolutely, man. That's one of the things I admire about you a lot is your grit, man. You're a gritty dude, and I respect gritty dudes, man. It just stays on the work, bro. No matter what they throw at you, dude just keeps getting up, man. And I like those guys that just keep getting up. So
Yeah.
let's you mentioned some influential people, artists that you got to study in high school, and we're about to talk about your summer program at Cooper Union here for just a second. But before we do that, I want to see if I get this name right. Louis Jacques, who's a French artist, who's a huge influence on you. He's a French painter, and to my understanding, I hope I pronounced these right. The two big paintings that he did that hit you in a way that well made you mention it to me was Oath of the Horatii and the death of Socrates. And the death of Socrates is actually sitting in the Met at the Metropolitan Museum of Art.
So
Um,
one
and you one of the things that inspire you about him is you were telling me that you love the detail in his compositions and in his paintings. So just briefly, just a little bit, could you talk about that influence?
So one of the exercises that my school like we would do, we had to go to the museum and we would have to pick a sculpture or a painting to draw and talk about. So that's the first thing you see. Like when you go up the Met, they have these stairs, like the first floor. When you first walk up those stairs, the Socrates painting is right there, right in the front, because it captures your eye. Like his I love the way he has three colors of red that just draws your eyes into it, and it's basically in the triangle. So that's the composition that he would use to like attract people into the painting, and that just from there I fell in love with his art. I started looking his artwork up, and it just inspired me like how much detail that you can get within a painting, you know. it it just made me a better artist.
And that inspiration led you to graduate. If I'm saying this correctly, you might have to fix me on this, okay? I might mess this up, but led you to graduate with illustration and seal art diploma.
Yes, it's an art field diploma that it's an art specialized high school. So not every high school has an art field diploma, or art background when you graduate high school. So that's why it has an art seal. I was second in my class for illustration. There was this other kid that he was just an amazing artist, and it just helped me. We would challenge each other, every time we would, like, the teacher would say, "Oh, so today's project is, let's design a chessboard," right? And we would come up with all these different ideas of how we would do that. Like, he did the Yankees, so he did a whole bunch of Yankee players in in the knight in the king position, and it was crazy. Like, so that inspired me, and I don't really remember mine, but that just drove me to do better.
Right on, right on. So this high school, obviously you did well in it. It was good for it was good for you. Now you're having a better experience educationally, and you get accepted into a summer program that only accepted 60 out of 1,000 applicants. And that summer program was at Cooper Union. Um, and it was a free summer program that was in Cooper Union's an art college. And you were picked to participate in that summer program. Can you talk a little bit about that?
I was lucky. I was blessed. I mean, there was a lot of people, and I actually couldn't make it that day. I had to come in the next day because I think I was testing for, like, my SAT or something like that, and he looked at my portfolio, and it was like, okay, you're in, and I'm like, wow, I'm in that quick. I was surprised. I was like, so I was so excited to, like, participate with other students, learn from them as well. Um, I learned how to use different ways of cardboard and wiring, how to create things out of wire and cardboard. I actually made a toothbrush 9 feet tall out of cardboard.
Right, a 9 foot toothbrush. Right on. Outstanding.
You would
so
take me both toys.
so it was telling me, hey Ezra, good to see you, man. Thanks for
Go
stopping
to
through. Hey,
the
hey Ezra, I need a little help figuring out how to get a mic not to cut my hearing when you get a chance sometime.
He needs
Uh,
technical
I
support.
need tech help, man. So my understanding is in this summer program at Cooper Union, you learned basically to work in 3D spaces, and you also did some wire sculptures, and that leads you to the University of Arts in Philadelphia, and you were there for 5 years. Um, because your last year you switched tracks and decided to do something a little different. So you're the artist of artists. Like you was already on the track, and you're like, no, hold up, I got to do some more stuff. I got to get over here, and I got to do this other thing. And so you graduated, uh, or you transferred over right before you graduated, and gave you a whole nother set of stuff that you learned. Uh, and in that, what you were telling me in my notes here, you did everything from, like, working a workshop, having to do with wood grains and carvings, making miter boxes, a music box, organic sculpture, seashell. You made a seashell that had fingers, and uh, at any rate, you lived in a dorm for the first year that you were there, and you did all different types of art. So, could you talk just a little bit about that experience? Because you earned your way there, man. It wasn't an easy journey for you, but you got there.
Funny thing is, like, to do the admissions to get there, I had to do it all on my own. My mother couldn't come with me. I went by myself. I never been anywhere outside of New York. Um, well, actually, right before that, I actually went to I went to Oklahoma for some reason because I was crazy, and I took a bus ride straight there just because I wanted to meet somebody there. It took me about 5 days to get, or 7 days to get there by bus. But
Wow.
on
I'm
that,
sorry that you went to Oklahoma.
and I got
That's
chased by a
where he
tornado.
was born, I think.
Yeah, I got chased by a tornado and hail the size of golf balls. Yeah.
That's his Oklahoma experience.
It's like welcome, welcome to Oklahoma. You get hit with a hail like that big. Yeah.
That's the Oklahoma welcome, man. That's why I
Oh
left.
man. Oh man. So
So
so you actually graduated from college with a BFA in illustration.
yeah. Um. So for that, like the reason why I changed track is because there was a teacher that had a personal bias against me, and I wasn't gonna let that get in my way. And I said I started something, so I'm gonna finish it. So I was in a design track. That's the track that I was in, and then I went into traditional media. So basically, from watercolor to digital to anything, but it had to be stuck on that on track. Like acrylics, whatever you're doing, they wanted you to do one track and stay on that track. So I started doing digital paintings, and um, from there, I graduated, and I was excited and happy to actually graduate because I was like one of actually I was the first to graduate from my family in college.
Me too, brother.
Yeah.
Very first with my last name to graduate in my family.
So like I was a great example for my family. I told they thought I would never make it. Some of my family, but my mother was there to support me in anything I did. My sister, so I those are the people that mean the most to me. So
Right
I'm,
on.
you know,
Well, you graduate, and it is, and I'm gonna hit on a couple things, and they're a little mixed up. But you've written a children's book. You've had all kinds of jobs. You've done like I can relate, man. You've done what was necessary to get through life. You've done all kinds of different jobs. But you've also written a children's book. Um, you also had a child, which kind of is a little bit of responsibility, as far as
I didn't write the children's book. I was gonna illustrate it, but I was in fear of that at that point in time.
that's right. My bad, man. My bad.
I didn't know exactly the process of doing that. I didn't feel confident in my art. Like I didn't feel like I was there, you know. Um,
Right.
not till not till 7 years ago when I first started wood burning. That's when I realized like this is what I wanted to do, you know. Like
Right. Right. And mixed in this journey is your profession. Do you want to talk about that at all? What you're doing, like what you're doing in education and the public libraries in Brooklyn and all that kind of stuff.
um so before I joined the board of ed, I was doing after school programs. I was tutoring kids. You know, you got to get what you can to put food on the table, you know. So after that, I joined the board of ed. I started being a paraprofessional. I've been doing that for 17 years. I work with special need kids one to one. I also basically do whatever inside like they need me to do. So if they ask me to do whatever, I'm there to do that. You know, I would do murals in the school. After that, I started teaching at the Brooklyn Public Library, where I would teach older adults, 65 and older, and I would teach them in different mediums. I would teach them watercolor, charcoal, acrylics, ballpoint pen. I wanted to do a wood burning workshop, but it's very dangerous. So
Gotcha.
the the library don't want to be liable for that. So
We'll team
Right.
up and I'll do a chainsaw while you do a wood burning. We'll do a dangerous class.
No, but
So,
I met some amazing people at that job. Like I had a 98-year-old man come to my what was it, charcoal class, and this guy, his memory is on point. Like he could remember things that he did when he was young. I'm like, I can't remember what I did yesterday. Like,
that's funny.
so like
True.
that's
I
just
can't either.
that's rewarding to me. Like where they share their lives with me through their artwork. You know, I love that.
You know, what I
Yeah.
have written down here is a personal note from me. I wrote this note to myself. This guy uses art to turn a negative into a positive. That's what I took out of up to this point in the story. That's what I jotted down in my notes. That Santiago uses his art to turn negatives into positives. All the way around, man. The whole story. So I got to give you respect and honor for that, man, because it's not an easy journey. I also had a. It took me 11 years to get my college degree, and I was the first in my family to get a degree, and it's a meaningful thing. And my brother has one now, so. And I also was one class away from getting my master's degree and walked away and started a woodworking business. So I can relate on that level too. Um, but
I mean,
let's,
money
you
isn't
know,
everything.
you said that art, another thing that you said to me that struck me that I wrote down was that art helped you find peace in life. And to me, that was a really heavy statement, man. That's a really heavy statement because there's woodworking does that for me. Um, um, Couple other things, but could you elaborate just a little bit on that as far as like what art means to you?
So art is something that, you know, you have a hectic day, you know, you're working your first job. You come home, you want to distress, so you do art. And not only that, but the art that I make when I do commissions, I feel like that when I give a part of me and it becomes inside your home, it's part of me that's gonna be there, you know, that's gonna if I'm gone, whatever, or if I'm gone, that's gonna be there. It's gonna be in their home. They're gonna appreciate it, you know, because it's something that they can look back on. It's a memory, and that's just that hits, you know, that hits home.
Absolutely. Yeah, I feel very similarly, man. Here another point that you make that I really like. You said, and I wrote this as a quote too. You said that the freeing component of art is that as an artist we make mistakes, but there's always a way to work around it. And I hear Chad talk about happy mistakes or, like from the Bob Ross kind of thing. And I see it in his work. And it isn't mistakes, it's often decisions or something will happen and be like, well, I have to go a little different than I was doing. But I just think that's a deep thing, a really heavy thing to be aware of and to realize that we're imperfect, right? Everything ain't going to be perfect. Sometimes we just got to find a way to work around it and still make good art and still put out a quality product. Um, and that I think is why you've had success probably in guiding young people and older people in their art journey, right? Because you connect with them. You know what it's like to be on the other side of that journey. And your work in special ed, man. I did that for a while. Had my own practice, and it's not easy work. It takes a toll on you as a human being. It's heartbreaking work, oftentimes. So I just want to tell you that, man. I respect you for doing it, and it's really difficult work, and it's underappreciated, and it's underpaid, and mental health in this country um, needs a bigger platform, and we're all together collectively going to try to do that. So I really appreciate you being willing to talk about such personal stuff, man. It's not an easy thing to do, and I admire you being willing to do it. Chad, Do you have anything that has hit you that you need to speak on?
Uh, I liked your work before, dude, but I'm a giant fan now. Like, I'm not just saying that because we're on the show, but all the things that you're talking about that you've done, and that's moving. I always joke around about finding real humans and real people instead of all these like plastic things that are running around acting like people. And a lot of people say, oh, well, you have to do these great things, and no, you don't. Um, you just have to do the things like you're doing, man. And those are great things. Like a lot of people, superheroes don't wear capes, dude.
Right,
That that's
right, right.
that's for the
What,
comics, dude. And
what,
I'm not just gassing you up. I've been sitting here with my mic on mute because I was back here going, yes, yes,
right?
yes. So there's my input. I don't have anything smart and artsy to say. Just, dude, mad props, mad respect to you.
And we're about to get to look at some of his art too. We hadn't even done that yet. I just wanted to make sure to get
Oh,
a
I knew I loved his art, dude. I
Tiffany.
knew that going in. I just didn't know all this other stuff about you, man, and that's
That's
amazing.
why we're here. That's why we're
Thank
here.
you for being
Tip,
you, dude. That's really cool.
Yeah, as
anything
long as
strike
I've
you?
known you, I didn't. There's a lot of that story I didn't know. And I've known you for quite a while. I thank you for sharing with us. I really appreciate it, and I admire your work.
Hey,
No,
Yeah,
Pipes.
Fantastic.
and
it's like everybody. Everybody, we all live a separate life outside of art, because
Hmm.
this is what we show people. We show people art, but we don't really know what they go through, what they have going on in their lives on a daily
Very true.
basis. We only see you for like 2 hours on live, and that's all there is,
uh-huh.
you know. But there's so
Yeah.
much more to people, and I feel like I tell my students all the time, like my older adults, they come in, they say, "Oh, it's my first time. I don't think I'm good." I try to encourage them. I tell them, you know, you're not gonna be. I'm not gonna say I was the best, but you
Mm,
can't
always
you
starts off
can't
great. Like
you
that.
can't value your work by other people's experience. I've been doing this all my life. If you just started, you gotta see your progression. You gotta see, hey, you might not be good right now, but do it a couple of times. Watch, learn what you like about it. Learn what you want to do with it.
Uh-huh.
And if you feel happy with it, then that's your artwork, not nobody else's.
Yes.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm trying to find a. Yep, there we go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Trying to make little things do stuff.
You're getting tons and tons of compliments in this chat, man. I just didn't
Yep.
want to
Yeah,
interrupt you, but
man.
these people love you,
Yep.
dude. They are sending you so much love. Everything from your artwork to
Absolutely.
your smile to your kindness, they're talking about it.
Thank you, thank you.
So
So,
let's get to some of his artwork. Tiffany, did you have anything you wanted to throw in? Anything? Okay, cool, cool, cool. So if you don't mind, if you're willing to, would you show us some of your work and tell us? Oh, Biggie, would you tell us a little bit about each one?
Well, this piece right here, this is a work in progress. I had this here for like maybe like 3 years, and
I love it.
my wife wants to throw all my wood pieces out because it's been sitting there for 3 years. But you can see it's basically life size, and then prioritize. I have to do my commissions first, and then if I have an art show, I have to do that. And then if I need content for my TikTok, I have to do that. So,
Right.
you know, this is like a labor
Don't
of love.
throw it away. Please don't
You
throw it
mail that to
away.
me instead of putting it in the trash can if she makes you
Please
get rid of
don't throw
that.
it away.
You tell her you're not allowed to throw it away. I'll pay. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
this piece is 3 feet by 4 feet. So
Nice.
Amazing, man.
it's gonna
Amazing.
the, the Coogee sweater right here alone it's gonna take me hours, maybe days.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Everybody's like, no trash, dude, no.
Oh man.
Oh wow, dude.
um,
Wow.
I was inspired by the movie, of course, John Wick. Keanu Reeves is a great
Yeah.
actor, you know. And this piece actually was shipped from Canada. I have a friend that lived in Canada, and she actually mailed me a couple of wood pieces.
Volta says he's looking at his custom Santiago skateboard.
Right on.
Oh, you poor baby, Ezra. You jerk.
I knew I didn't like that guy, Ezra.
I know it. He's got peace and I don't.
So
Yeah.
I have a show in April at it's like this theater. It's gonna be with a whole bunch of art teachers from New York. Um, and this is one of the pieces that is going to be displayed.
Oh wow.
Wow. That's pretty amazing. Holy cow. That's cool. I haven't seen that one.
Dude.
That's incredible.
Wow.
This is called this is Bad Bunny. He's a reggaeton artist, and
Yeah.
he it has to do with dream. So in this scenario, he has two different sides to him. He has like a professional side, and then he has, you know, the wild, crazy side. So that's the theme of the show. Is going to be dream.
Wow, man. That's amazing. That's incredible.
And
Absolutely
then
incredible.
and then I have this big piece right here, and it's super heavy. This is a Taina Indian, and then in
Wow, man.
Taina? Wow.
so it's an indigenous Indian
To
from
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
Yeah,
And
one of my friends that is a very good friend of mine is Sayano.
Oh wow.
so this
That's incredible. That's
is
incredible.
made
Yeah,
out
it is.
is made out of white olive wood.
I'm
Nice.
screen capping that to show my homie later.
This
Nice.
this was also shipped from Canada. I especially asked for these. Like I was like, hey, I would love, you know, if you could send me some exotic woods. You know, we don't have that over here in New York. Um,
Right?
that's one reason why I I I steered towards wood burning because in New York it's mostly painting, digital, or you know things of that nature. It's you rarely see any wood burning here. So I felt like it would set me apart, you know, from all the artists over here in New York. You know, um, if I was in the Midwest or East Coast or down south, not the East Coast, the West Coast, it would be like more. I would get more, you know, people would notice me more because everybody loved wood burning over there. Um,
Sure.
and
That's
there's many
amazing.
different artists. So I'm like, this is what called to me, and I'm very happy so far.
Yeah. So we're putting together. I've got a little box going for you. I've been digging around in my building out there trying to find little pieces like you and I were talking about. I might have found a couple for you. I'll ship to you.
Oh, great! This is a commission piece I'm working on right now.
Wow.
This is this is 3 feet tall,
Unbelievable, man.
and this is
Unbelievable.
a bachata singer. His name is Romeo Santos. They call him the king of the bachata, but you know everybody has their favorite. I actually I actually went to junior high school with him. He
Right
Wow.
on.
Yeah, he grew up in the Bronx as well. So that
Right
was pretty
on.
cool. But you never really know, like you never really know who's gonna become at like artists, like a singer or and blow up. So this is Rihanna, and this is on a panel piece. So it has like different panels, and
Uh-huh.
it comes custom made, and it already has the hooks and everything made. I just
Wow, man.
I love the difference. It has like the tree bark, and it's basswood, so it's light and it's easier to control with the shading.
Oh, wow. Right on.
Space Toast just said you capture the life in the eyes so well,
Yeah,
and
the eyes,
that's
man.
exactly what I
Those
was
were.
thinking.
Yeah, I was
The
looking at them
eyes,
too.
you are able to get it in the get the person.
Yeah. It's like you went to
Oh,
art school or
incredible.
something, man.
Something like that. I don't know.
I was inspired with this one because of Chad. Not you, Chad. The other
Like,
Chad. The other Chad. The he passed away with cancer. From Wakanda. So I really love. He was a great actor, man, and I wish we could have seen him longer. You know,
Yeah,
uh,
man. I got chills when you said that. Yeah. Yeah.
and this is something that I fell in love with the movie, and I just wanted to do because I just love like the different texture and like different I want like the animal and the eyes, and I just want to bring it back to like a jungle or jungle theme or tropical rainforest. But
Yeah. Damn, that's amazing, man. That's
so
just incredible work, sir.
like pieces like this, I usually I measure it out, and I work on it on Photoshop. Like I design how I want to lay it out, and then I transfer it, and then I do everything by hand.
do you use what do you use to transfer it?
I use a graphite
Yeah.
sheet. Yeah, just to mark down the lines, like map it
Sure.
out, and then I burn everything by hand.
Right. Well, the reason I ask is because I'm getting ready to do some really big pieces, and I actually just bought a projector to do some transfers. Man, that's incredible.
Wow, man.
Wow.
That's unbelievable.
Wow.
Holy cow. That's the coolest one I've seen yet, man. That is amazing.
So
That is
I
really
actually
cool.
brought like a fur to put
Yeah.
around it, and then
Yeah.
my wife told me, "Yo, why you buying this pineapple? What you gonna do with a pineapple? Because it looks like a pineapple with the
Right. Right.
wood in the back." And I'm like, "No." She didn't see the vision that I saw when
Right, right, right.
I was like, "No, that's
Is
the headdress."
Man,
yeah.
that's
Is that
amazing.
bone up top with the feathers?
Yes, I added
Yes.
the feathers to it. You know, like
Gorgeous.
you gotta see outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you, dude.
Oh, this I did during the in Puerto Rico. They were having the hurricanes
Uh-huh.
and the earthquake. So this one is called Shelter, and so you can see like she's wrapping herself with the flag.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's beautiful, man. How did you do the color in
Yeah.
that one?
Oh, the color is watercolor.
Right on.
Nice.
So
Wow.
Right on.
I would go in and then I was sand off any parts that I didn't want to be vibrant because I don't like it to be so I want it to be subtle. I don't want it to be
Right.
like
Nice.
a
Right.
strong sharp color
Sure.
because I want it to be a part of the work, not just be the focal point.
So,
Sure, sure. Not
so,
using crayon colors to
so Santiago, if someone wanted to order a piece of your art, how would they do that?
They can message me directly, and we'll talk about the pricing. I don't really charge crazy prices. Like I feel like um I have a set price for each size, but and then I work off of that, you know, because I want to make it affordable to everybody. Not everybody can afford it, you know, and because I feel like that's part of me that's going with them. So if I can get you something that means something special to you, then it's worth it, you know. Um, I love what I do. You know, everybody tells me that I should charge more, but I feel like you know everybody has their own circumstances, and I want to make something special for them. You know, so I
Yes.
I bring it. I work with you. You know, I work with you. That's what I do.
Right. Right. Well, so if someone wanted to buy a piece of art from you, the best way to do that is just DM you right here on TikTok. Just direct message to you, and then you can give them kind of an outline of what what to expect.
Yes. I want to show you some of my other work. This is char-
Yes,
charcoal.
man,
I,
that's amazing. Oh, slow down, man. We're in no hurry. Slow down, slow down. Show it, man. We're in no hurry.
this like most of the time when I'm doing like charcoal, I like to look at sculpture because they have the very dramatic whites and dark and lights and darks. So it helps you visualize things in a contrast way, like what's more dynamic, you know. So
Oh,
I love doing that. Oh, eyes
oh,
eyes are my favorite. Like I love doing eyes. That's like that's my thing. That's my jam.
it shows.
So this is something I worked on.
Wow, man.
Wow.
Chad, tell me you don't like that. Come on.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's
I
incredible.
like it a
Yes.
lot.
Yes. Is that pieces of broken glass?
Yes.
Wow, man. Come on. You got to be
That's
kidding me.
that's something else too. Like I want to play with different type of textures. You know, like I want to make things believable. Um, the word trompe-l'oeil in French means to deceive the eye. So this is what I want to do when I work. I want to deceive the eye. I want to make things look metal or metallic or leather or like glass. You know, that's what I love doing. Like
Incredible, man.
this is another piece. This I was doing a study because I was gonna bring this picture to my watercolor class, but I decided to do a little drawing of it.
Wow, man. I don't mind. It's amazing.
Thank you. And then somebody asked me to do SpongeBob. I was on live one day, and I said, "Oh yeah, you want me to do a SpongeBob? I got you."
Right on, man. I never seen SpongeBob look so cool.
So I was like, you know, I like to please my audience, and I have I also do ballpoint pen.
I also do ballpoint pen. Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Jeez, man.
This pen is called it's called a CMYK pen. It has cyan, yellow, and magenta and black. So I was just playing around with the different colors. See
Uh-huh.
what colors does it make when you combine them. And then I started getting those pens that have like 12 different colors. So I started playing with it.
Wow, man. Unreal. And the variety of subject matter, man, is amazing.
Yeah.
I kind of like to draw anything. Like that's just me. Like I want to do everything. You know, I feel
Right?
I feel you in that.
like art is is wide. There's a wide choice matter. It's very vague. You know, you can get whatever you want. Like if you
Ooh.
feel like you want to do it, just try it. Try it. See where it goes. Like, and if you mess up, it's okay. Just turn the page and do another one. You know, there's always more
Type
Yes.
paper
dog named Chucky.
and more art material.
That's so cool, man.
So, and then I also do markers. This is the alcohol markers right here.
I also do markers. That's amazing.
No, I do a little bit of everything. I'm very fortunate enough to enjoy art immensely. Like just practice every type of art. Um, and these two pieces behind me, I had in a gallery showing not too long ago. It was in January. No, wait. It was in December. Yeah, I had a gallery showing at a Red Hook Gallery in Brooklyn, and from there I met a couple of amazing artists. One of them is a teacher, and he was the one that got me into the show in April. So I'm very thankful for that opportunity to be a part of that, to be a part with a whole bunch of different amazing artists, and I get to share that. You know,
Yes.
this year I actually wanted to collab. Like I wanted to collab with different people, different art mediums with my wood burning. I wanted to see where we can meet. You know,
Yeah.
like half wood, half painted something. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, man. Yeah.
and then try to get that into a gallery or something. Like yo, let's do this. You know, or somebody that does like metal work. You know, or wiring. How can we collab?
Yeah. Absolutely. We know some guys that might be able to do something like that. Well, Santiago, man, did you have any more you wanted to show us, or anything else you wanted to share with us?
Oh, you want to see my I've been doing these. Oh, this is a Marilyn Monroe that I did,
Golly, man.
Wow.
and this one, I love the quote that she says. Like it says, "It's better to be hated for what you are than to be loved for what you not."
I love it.
100%.
Beautiful, man.
So
That's fantastic. You're so awesome.
The
thank you,
man
thank
has many layers, y'all.
So I have a whole bunch here if
Thank
you
you,
want to
Leon.
see. You know, this is
Sure, man.
I've done this in 3 weeks. My weekly, my daily drawing.
Oh, wow.
I have a whole
What's up, Leon Finley?
this.
A
You
whole
see this?
stack
Oh
of
my gosh, man.
them.
This was in 3 weeks.
So get in touch with this man. He has art
Uh,
available.
Um,
Right on.
I was doing
thanks for that, Leon.
a series of wrestling.
Oh,
Nice.
luchador.
SA, don't get too excited.
Nice. Hey, can you go back?
Nice.
Can you show that last picture?
Yeah,
That was Essay. Our good
yeah,
friend
can you?
Essay is a luchador. I believe that's her
Yeah,
right there.
that's SA Artistry's right there when she's not on TikTok on this. Well, at least on this profile that she uses, because she is a
That's
master
amazing,
luchador.
man. That's really cool.
That's a side hustle.
And
Yeah.
people saying they love watching you create your art, dude.
Wow, amazing,
Oh
man.
wow.
No, Lacey's amazing. She does
Yeah.
she teaches Procreate. She does
Nice. I just gave you a follow.
yeah.
There, Lacey. Cool.
Let me just take
Oh man, that's amazing.
most of
Wow.
these portraits are things that I've
Oh wow.
like these are actors and most of them I grew up, you know, watching and so
Wow, man. The detail's incredible.
Wow. Whoa. That was cool.
Yo,
Nice. Very nice.
Robin,
Oh,
that's a
I
great
love
one,
that
man.
one, dude.
Yeah, that's
That
a
is
great one.
great. Good morning, Vietnam.
yeah, that was one of my
Bro, broken.
Buster.
Yeah. Bus.
he was actually music that I would play in high school when I would ride the train home.
Yeah, Buster.
Yeah, man, I grew up listening to I got you
Love
all in
him.
check.
Yeah. Ooh-ha.
Ooh,
Ace. I want like all of them. Ash Lethal says, yes, I agree.
oh
I've
wow,
seen
Morgan.
several that have, I've seen several that have just, wow.
One of my audience members, they said I should make a book out of these.
Yes,
Nice.
absolutely.
Yes, dude.
Yes.
My
Gonna be
gosh.
starting something. Gonna be starting something. Whoa, that's fierce.
Nice. Wow.
There's your dude.
Wow.
He's a reggaeton artist. His name is Faruco. Um, Reggaeton was something that I was influenced when I was in Puerto Rico. When I was living in Puerto Rico, it's just a new type of music that I grew into when I was living over there with my grandmother.
Sure. Wow.
You can't handle the truth.
Right?
Jack.
You can't handle it.
I love Jack, man. He's an amazing actor.
Yes. Right on. Oh, that's good.
Wow,
Look at the
dude.
water and the rain in that one.
That's what I was just about to say.
For all the strong women out there, you
Wow.
know, the women that go
That's
through
what's up.
Is
that have
that painting at Tiffany's you got right there?
the
Ah,
Wonder Woman. And I guess so.
nice.
Nice.
Say hello to my little friend.
Ha! That's dope,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
If you, yeah, I know,
Wow.
yeah, I know.
That's
Yep.
good, man. That's really good.
God, dude. Crazy.
This one,
Clint.
I was so surprised how fast I did this one.
God,
I
dude.
did this like in like 60 minutes,
Wow.
and and
God.
he has so much detail, and like
Yeah.
and just doing like the black area is so time consuming.
I
Like,
bet. I hear you, broken hands.
yeah, even if you have like the temperature at a high, you still have to like go over it and make sure that it's all the same tone.
Yeah. Broken Hand says if you pull out a Heath Ledger, he's out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I have a certain skill set.
Yes. Yes.
We all do. We all got certain skill set. You gonna learn today.
Hey, you gonna learn today.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Right
Oh,
on.
wow, man.
I kind of like Biggie.
Biggie.
Yes, I'm a
Biggie.
huge Biggie fan, dude. If you didn't notice when you broke out the Biggie behind you, I was like, yeah.
That's Method Man
Nice.
and a Red Man. Yeah.
And how
Yeah,
how
yeah.
high?
Yeah. How high?
Ash Lethal says if you break out a Kurt Russell, buying it.
Heard that.
Oh, nice.
That's cool.
That is a Christmas movie, by the
I'm
way.
gonna have to do um what is it? Big Trouble in Little China.
Yes, that's a,
Yeah. That's
oh, it's a great
oh
movie.
man, that's my favorite of all
I was
time
about
right
to
there.
say, yeah,
Golly.
I gotta end it with the master.
I love it, man. He's one of my
that's
favorites. One of my favorite human beings ever to walk the earth.
Yeah, he was.
Be the Water.
I actually met a guy that took a picture with him
Yes.
with Bruce Lee. I was at a showing of this artist named Devon Rodriguez. He's he's the one that does the subway art, the portrait. You ever
Right
seen
on.
him? So he had a first gallery show, and I met that guy. He actually went to my high school, and he teaches what is it, Wing Chun, and and this guy would like, he travels every year on his birthday to meet his wife and everything at his funeral, at Bruce Lee's funeral. And I was like, how
Wow.
is he? And this guy was like, what, 70, 75, man. He looked in great shape. I was like, he looked in better shape than me. I'm like, yo, 75. This guy walks miles, and I'm like, yo, is that his temple? He listens to, he takes care of his temple. So
Yes, yes, absolutely. He's yeah. Chad will tell you. I speak on Bruce Lee quite a bit. His book Tao of Jeet Kune Do was a really good book, and where he kind of lays out his thought process and his method, and that's always been inspirational to me.
you get that one?
Well, Santiago,
Well, I got
you
one
have
more.
yeah.
Yeah, one more. Just to
Oh wow, Chad's gonna hate that.
Uh-huh. That's gorgeous.
Amazing, man. Amazing.
Nice. Hey,
Amazing.
Santiago, I have people asking your pricing. Is that something you want to talk about, or is that something they need to DM you about?
No, that's fine. What, like how I price it, or?
He's just no, he's just asking, yeah, how you price those there.
So everything depends on like the details, of course, but like 8x10s, huh? Well, I can't really say prices on here,
Okay,
but
no worries.
he can message me directly, and I would definitely tell him.
Gotcha. But hey, folks, listen. Message him. You won't know until you ask, and I'm telling you, it won't be as much as you expect. Um,
Worth it.
yes, yes. Reach out to him. It doesn't hurt to ask, even if he gives you a number that you don't want to do. It ain't gonna hurt his feelings. It's okay. He's been through
And
a
I
lot in life. He'll be fine.
and I do
I'm
custom work. Oh no, the website in my bio, no, it's not good. Um, because it's expensive to maintain, and I haven't used it as much, so it's better to directly hit me up.
So Santiago's a guy that's been through a lot in his life. When he was young, he um, had some language barriers that he had to overcome, which put him back in school. He had asthma, which he put him in Puerto Rico. He, had a teacher that helped him put a portfolio that helped him get into one of the most prestigious high schools, and then he excelled there. He finished second in his category, and then he went on to a pretty prestigious summer program, and he went from there to a college, and he graduated from there, and he helps kids with special needs learn things, and he helps older men and women learn about art, and he taught us some things about art today. So I would hope that anybody following us would give him a follow. Go check out his work. If you're interested in anything he has, hit him with a DM. He's a good dude. I've talked to him outside of TikTok for a couple hours, and he's actually a nice guy. It's okay. You can reach out to him. He's a cool dude. He won't, you know, he'll treat you right. So, Santiago, is there anything that I didn't cover that you would like to talk about?
All right, I need to talk about Ash Lethal right there.
Okay.
Ash Lethal.
Okay.
I just bought a book that she illustrated. She's hopefully gonna send me a signed copy. Her work. All right. Yes, she's amazing. You gotta check out her work. And
I'm following her.
the book is based on online predators. So yeah, it's for kids, but it's on a strong subject. So, but
Right on.
She's saying
I just gotta
is
get
in here too.
I gotta get that out there. I gotta get that out.
Right on.
She's saying is in the chat too. Wait a minute, who's the author?
My name is Bree.
I'm the author, she said.
Bree.
Yeah. Right
Nice,
on.
nice. Cool. I got
You'll
you.
follow
I got
back
you,
to
Bree.
Got you, Bree.
For sure.
Right. Well, right on. Anything else you had? Anything else you want to throw out there?
I just want to tell everybody, don't be scared to try something new. You never know what you're capable of until you try it. So even if it scares you, even if you think it's hard, challenge yourself. Even if you think you can't overcome it, you will, because life is short, and do things that make you happy. You know, do things that make you content, because there's already a lot of bad things going on in this world, and you want to live a happy life. You want to enjoy your life. So make sure you do something that you love doing, and that's about it.
Absolutely. Right on, man. Well, if I could please get people to throw some claps for me in the comment section for my man Santiago. Look, man, I very much appreciate you coming on. I feel a lot of connections with you in terms of some of our experiences of life, and I respect your art. I respect your approach. I think a lot about how compassionate you are about your art,
And I'm
and
doing
And hats.
and say again.
I'm starting to do hats with my logo on it.
Right
Like
on. So
any
DM the man. Get up with him. DM him. And also, Chad, would you please tell us what you got coming up here in a little while?
5:30, all the chaos you can possibly handle, and maybe a little woodworking.
That's gonna be at 6:30 Eastern time. That's 5:30 Chad time.
Yeah.
And painting. Is there anything you'd like to say before we wrap things up?
Working.
Nope. Everybody have a fantastic day, and we'll see you over at Chad's in a bit.
Right on.
We'll
What
be
he's
working
holding in
on
his
this
hand is the
guy.
bonehead Rick the Muse.
Rick the Muse.
Nobody's done a bonehead Rick the
Bonehead.
Muse yet, and there it is, right there.
That's
Carved.
Rick.
It's carved out of a piece of bone. Yeah, let's put Chad in the big box real quick. Here you go. We'll put him up there real quick. Yes, look at that. Rick the Muse carved out of a femur bone of a cow.
That is so cool.
How about that, Santiago?
It's
Still
just
working
so
on it,
cool.
son.
Ridiculous.
Thank you. I'll take that.
How's that
That's
smell when
Oh.
you're drilling on it?
That's like
It smells like my beard is on fire or something. Hey, Leon, I'm sorry, man. He booked these ahead of time, man. I'd be happy to get you in sometime. Hit me up, dude. Sorry, I was catching somebody in there. But yeah, I'll be working on this a little bit and probably clubbing Gin over the head with it.
Most likely, that's exactly what'll happen. So, hey, folks, appreciate everybody checking us out. We'll do a little review for those that are viewing at home. We have some friends that we want to rep. One of them is our friend SA Artistries. She has a show coming up, a contest that she is participating in. It's in Marietta, Georgia on February 10th. That's a Saturday. It's at 5:30. If you're not able to make it to Marietta, Georgia, and join me there, then at least support her on the TikToks here. You can catch her at 5:30, February 10th. let's all try to give her as much support as we can. It's going to be a big deal, and we hope you will. We hope you will support her.
And
We
I'll be
also would
hosting her
like you can
I
tune
was gonna
in
say
on
I'll be
Mondays.
hosting her show, her
I'm
showcase.
sorry,
So
man.
that's going
Let
to
me
be a
mute
big
this
deal.
guy. I don't know what he's babbling about. Hold on. Be quiet.
Uh,
I'm teasing, dude. Is he still talking? Does anybody see his lips moving? What were you saying, bro? What were you saying?
He wanted to hit you over the head.
Go ahead, man. Unmute yourself.
I don't think I can say this on TikTok. No, I was just saying make sure to join her because it will be a showcase for her on here. So please, I'll host it. You can make fun of me, whatever you need to do. Just join us. Now mute me, you son of a...
So, we've also got some stuff that's going to be coming out from painting at Tiffany's pretty soon. So keep an eye out for that. On Monday and Fridays, you can catch your buddy Rick the Muse. He does a show on Wednesday night. Pipes does a show. You can check him out. Catch our friend Joshua Maddock roaming around out there somewhere. You never know where you might find him. Remember, if you find me and Chad doing our dual things at night, don't be offended if we don't talk to you. That's where we're working on stuff. This show is where we talk to you. So, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. I thank you so much, Santiago. Man, it is amazing. And our topic today of trying to find that balance in our shop, you seem to have found that balance in your life. And I'm so grateful to you for coming on the show. I think you're an amazing artist. I think you're an amazing man. You're super humble about it as well. And I hope to talk to you much more in the future. And I look forward to seeing what you come out with next. Thank
brother.
everybody for being on here. I'm going to wrap it real quick because we don't have long before we get to Chad's thing. Thank Painting at Tiffany's. Thank everybody in the chat. Y'all like and follow each other. And
Yeah.
I hope you had a good day today. And if you're not, I really hope it turns around really quickly for you. Thank you, everybody. Santiago, thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Chad, thank you, brother. I'll see you shortly.
See you in an hour.
Yes, sir. And you might have to shut the live down because none of my buttons are working anymore.
Really? Oh, I can only leave live. I'll leave
All
it.
right, man. We'll